Big thanks to Super7 for sending Wave 3 out. Check them out and links to buy in the description.
Kaiju, Turtles, Dragon Ball, and more. It's Steven's Toy Reviews.
Hey there, collectors, it is Steven here, and welcome back to another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the start of Wave 3 for Super7's Ultimates for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and we're going to be taking a look at Michelangelo, Mikey, the party dude. And I gotta say, this one I was pretty hyped for, and taking a look at the final product, he comes with a pizza box. Is there anything else that needs to be said? How about the nunchucks, the extra weapons, and the new head sculpt, which is not based on the original Playmates figure, but is brand spanking new. There's a lot to like here, so let's take a look to see whether or not Mikey is worth adding into your collection. Mikey's going to be a different color green than his other brothers that are already on the market right now, and he is using what I guess we can pretty much call the Super7 Turtle Buck, because they're going to be using this for all the turtles. So basically, all of the sculpted details are pretty much going to be the same. There are going to be a couple of small things here and there, like the different belts and the symbols and so forth. Like for an example, as you'll see on the back, he does have different holders for the nunchucks, which is pretty cool. But otherwise, the veins, the markings on the shell and the plastron, those are pretty much going to be the same, which is totally fine. There's no issue there. Now, something to take note, if this is going to be your first turtle in the lineup, all of the Ultimates Super7 figures are going to be based off of the original vintage Playmates releases. They're going to kind of just be an updated version of these for all of us who have kind of grown up, and we expect a little bit more out of our action figures now. The default Mikey head sculpt, which you did not see in the opening, is going to be, again, based off of that vintage Playmates figure. You're either going to love it or you're not, and if you don't, then buckle up because we got some good stuff coming on later in the review. Generally speaking, I do think that Mikey is pretty good with some very nice details. I am also a fan of this color green, so maybe I'm just a little biased. Mikey's articulation, he's going to be using, once again, the standard buck for the turtles for the Super7 Ultimate, so it's going to be a recap. We have that head, which plugs into the neck on a ball joint, which, for head swapping purposes, it is very easy to swap out. It's not a loose connection, as you can see. It does take a little bit of effort to move the head, but it's very easy to swap out, so I'm glad to see that Super7 has gotten to a point where it's easy to do the head swaps. Shoulders are on swivel hinge combo, so we can spin the arms around and we can raise and lower them. Had no issues with tight or loose joints here on the arms, including the bicep swivel, which is very good. We do have single hinge elbows, that much range of movement. We extend, and then we do also have elbow swivels, a little bit of range of movement. The pads on the elbows do block the range a little bit, but with the bicep swivel, we're just fine. Now, for the wrists, we do have swivels and hinges, and each wrist is going to be a little bit different for the hands. Yeah, we have different wrist joints, yeah. So, Mikey is going to come with a few different hands, and we'll see them all, but they all effectively have swivels and hinges, with one set of the gripping hands changing it from this sort of hinge to in and out. So there you go. Now, arm movement's going to be the same. Interestingly enough, we do have a waist ball joint in there, so you can kind of see in here, he's moving around just a little bit, twist and turn from side to side effectively. For the hips, we are going to have swivel hinge combos, so we can move the legs forward and back. He has a shell, so it is going to block like that, and then we can hinge out to the side. Now we do have thigh swivels, as you can see there, they spin around like that. We do have single knee hinge, which also swivels, which is good. We do have hinged ankles, which also plug in on pegs, so they do swivel like that. I do think Mikey and the rest of the turtles would benefit from double hinges, but honestly, Mikey does get a good range of movement out of the joints that he has. We can get him into some fun poses. So if you're creative, then he's pretty good. Rather rock solid. Accessories time, and Mikey is going to come with a fair amount. All of the turtles do come with a fair amount. I will say, though, that Mikey just seems to come with an interchangeable head, a pizza box, obviously a signature weapon with the nunchucks. He's going to come with his fist daggers, ninja star, grappling hook, and a staple with all of the Super7 Ultimates, an unpainted weapons rack. Now, If you go back to the Vintage Playmates releases, they pretty much had this for all of the releases, and Super 7 is honoring that. So if you do want that sort of authentic feel, you can have unpainted weapons. Now, for that alternate head sculpt to sort of bring this figure up to modern day, they did include a rather goofy head sculpt. Gonna be completely honest, when I saw this in the promotional pictures, I was not a fan of this. I did not like it that much. I thought it was creepy and didn't fit any of the turtles. In hand, yeah, it's very goofy. It fits Mikey. Not overall favorite head sculpt for all of the turtles, but I do like it and I don't hate it. So it's pretty good. Now, taking a look at his weapons, he does come with 2 different sets of nunchucks. So we're going to have one pair that actually has a metal chain. So this can be for, when he's sort of resting and putting one in between his arms, or however else you want to use that when he's putting it in his little loops on his back. And then we get another set that has a fixed plastic chain. So I guess it's not a chain, but you know what I mean. Now for here, initially it kind of gives off the vibe that there is a bendy wire in it and you can bend this. I will say that it is a flexible plastic, so you can kind of get it to take a specific shape if you wanted to do that, but it will reset over time. Don't keep bending it and flexing it. I have a feeling that you may unfortunately end up breaking this. So just something to really keep in mind. Now, like the other turtles in the Ultimates lineup so far, he is going to come with some, I would say, rather generic weapons. He's going to come with his fist daggers, and he is going to come with a kama. So here are just some pictures to take a look at that. Personally, not really a big fan of these myself because I want the turtles for their signature weapons, but I do know some folks who really do like these. So if you're a fan, congratulations. Mikey comes with them as well. And as of note, you may have saw this with the unpainted weapons rack. Mikey's are a unique color. They're a lighter brown, so they're going to be different from the other turtles released. And of course, we are going to have the ninja stars, which Mikey can in fact throw. Kind of pretty cool. Last but most certainly not least, we have the pizza box with some smashed up cheese on the lid. Of course, it wouldn't be Mikey if he didn't have some sort of comical thing going on. So this is great for a general accessory for your other figures, or if Mikey's going to be bringing the goods to a party, and he can hold the box with pretty much any of the different hands that he's going to come with. Did I mention the hands? Yeah, so he's going to come with another set of holding hands with different hinge joints on them. He's going to come with fists. And he's going to come with splayed hands. Very good. Oh, and he's going to come with the grappling hook. The grappling hook is actually pretty interesting because if you've seen some grappling hooks from other companies made of hard plastic, here you don't really have to worry about it because it's a nice flexible material, but it does look like hard plastic. So you don't have to worry about anything breaking here unless you're really forcing it. Now, overall, for everything that we get here for Mikey, he does come with quite a bit. The only concerns that I would have is that there aren't any stands, so this way we can really emulate Mikey really throwing the ninja stars. And then in addition to that, the grappling hook just comes attached on a string, so there's nothing for him to hold it on for the other hand securely to make it look like he is in fact throwing the grappling hook. Just something to really keep in mind. Now, if you do need extra support stands to help with this, you know I have videos to help you out, and there are relatively affordable support stands on the market, so it's not going to cost that much more. And here's a size comparison with all of Wave 3 side by side by side by side with some other figures you just might have, whether it's just going to be general, let's say SH Figuarts, or some other turtle related products. As you can see, they all scale nicely, not only with each other, but they blend in pretty well with some other figures. So buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. Overall, the paint application on Mikey is very good, and the turtle buck that they have works out relatively well. The articulation is rather rock solid for this release. No loose joints, no tight joints. I didn't have to do any sort of modifications. I was very comfortable moving everything out of the box, and the accessories are pretty much a very good fit. Michelangelo is a nice addition to pretty much any turtle lineup, so if you're kind of on the fence, I would definitely say that for the third turtle so far, Super 7 has definitely hit their stride, and I'm very excited to get Donnie in Wave 4 because I have a feeling that if they've made this many improvements with Mikey, yeah, Donnie's going to be even better.
Well, collectors, that brings us to the end of the video today, and I just wanted to take a second to thank you so much for watching. Now, you've heard a lot from me. I'd like to hear a little bit from you. Drop in the comments down below whether or not you liked it, you hated it, or maybe you were somewhere in between. I also want to take an extra second here for a nice, humongous thank you to all the patrons for SDR over the last month who have really helped the channel grow into what it can be today. So to all of you, 2 big thumbs up. Thank you very much. And now the end card should be popping up, which will give you a few clickable links, like maybe to subscribe or head on over to my Patreon, or some short URLs like to my social media or to my Teespring store. There's also a video I hand selected for you, so if you want to watch another STR video, I hand selected some good content for you to watch, so definitely check out that video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch ya in the next video.